Dr. Sridhar is the Dean, Division of Yoga and Humanities. Also, he is the Dean, Academic Affairs of our university, and he will make the presentation.
NAC अध्यक्षवर्याणां कृते मान्यसदस्यानां कृते अहं योगविश्वविद्यालयस्य शैक्षणिकविभागतः स्वागतं व्याहरामि. Welcome to the NAC peer team, and as some of the slides have already been presented since morning by our Honorable Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor and the IPSA Coordinator, initially had made this as a complete comprehensive presentation on behalf of the academic staff. Now that they have already been presented, some of the slides I am going to skip. The motto of the academic cell is to implement the vision and mission of S-VYASA University through various academic and allied programs. Honorable distinguished members, you are already familiar with the vision and the mission of our university. The emphasis from the academic cell is the quality and innovations in teaching, learning and evaluation, which you will kindly see in the next few slides, and I have given a diagrammatic representation of the same through nation's prestige. The S-VYASA covers the all-embracing aspects of the quest for excellence, national prestige, environmental safety, national economy, value-based education, and the latest ICT technologies. Of course, this has already been presented. The process for the implementation of the academic cell is through the vision and the societal needs. It goes on changing over years, and especially once in 5 years or so. And this vision is in commensurate with the subjective, the objective feeding monitoring, which will be given by our previous students, the alumni, the stakeholders, the industrialists and others. So based on that, we are going to develop the content development. We are going to make the development of the entire program, and also the content delivery is done through teaching, learning practices, and finally it will be evaluated and goes with assessment and monitoring. Academic cell initially monitors the entire academic activities of S-VYASA. The staff of the academic cell and the Dean of Academics, we have the Assistant Registrar, Dr. Balram Pradhanji, Dr. Ravi B.S., who is the Personal Secretary, Venkatesh K.K., he is our academic cell coordinator, Dr. Gurudevji, he is the academic coordinator, Venkatesh, Senior Office Assistant of the PhD cell, and Ms. Saubhagyalakshmi Mohanty, the Senior Assistant. Incidentally, Ms. Saubhagyalakshmi Mohanty will be doing her open defense on Sunday for her PhD thesis. The student enrollment and support will be done through the admission notification is given in our university website, and the entry-level assessment will be done. We take into consideration the student diversity from all parts of India, length and breadth across the country, and here we find a mini Bharat. Student background and the academic needs of those students, and the general health of the student is also taken into consideration, and also Guna assessment will be done through our Vedic Guna inventory and Triguna inventory. And the oriented programs are generally given at the beginning of the course. It is apart from that, the YIC, Yoga Instructor course, as an add-on compulsory bridge course for all the students is being implemented here. The academic growth of the students is monitored at both entry and exit point, which was elaborated by our Honorable Chancellor in his morning presentation. Advanced learners are given pilot projects, and they act as a peer team student tutor, which is abbreviated as PTST. Teaching learning process is given importance here through this. It is basically a student-centered teaching and learning through participatory activities by the students like drama, skits, quiz conducted by our students, street plays and so on. The university has the mechanism of evaluating teachers by the student through feedback. So feedback questionnaire will be served to the students at the end of each semester, and they will fill out, and those things will be recorded, and they are available in our academic cell. When you kindly visit the academic cell, you can see all those documents, the hard copies of these things. Academic calendar is prepared every year and helps in monitoring course of academic affairs. So we have all the academic calendars published. We will give you a copy of that when you kindly visit our academic cell. Feedback is collected every semester and from the students on various aspects of curriculum and teaching learning. The student performance and learning outcomes are examined, and the student and faculty feedback indicate if these learning objectives which we specify at the beginning of the course and the outcomes are attained or not by our student. So new methodology and aids of teaching are always explored, such as the ICT technology, which I will detail in the coming slides. The various programs offered under the UG, PG and the PhD courses are: the undergraduate is BSc Yoga and Consciousness, 3 years, BSc Yoga Therapy, 3 years, BNY is Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences for 4.5 years plus 1 year internship. At the postgraduate level, we have MSc Yoga and Consciousness for 2 years, MSc Yoga Therapy 2 years, MD Yoga and Rehabilitation 3 years, PhD program minimum 3 years, and we have introduced the integrated PhD program from last year, which is a minimum of 4 to the maximum of 5 years. Apart from that, we have the diploma courses, the postgraduate diploma in yoga therapy for 1 year, postgraduate diploma exclusively for doctors for 1 year, and yoga instructors course 1 month regularly. The yoga instructors course is going on. We have just completed the 180th course, yoga YIC course in this university, which is of a duration of 1 month. The highlight of the YIC, which is going to be detailed in our division of yoga and humanities, is that in the month of November, we gave special YIC to the Indian Air Force pilots, 96 number. In December and January, we have given it to the ONGC, senior, middle and junior cadre. The ONGC managers, including the executive director, also came and participated in YIC and also our SPEC programs. The criteria for admission as far as our courses are concerned, for BSc is any +2, +12 course, or it's, in the Karnataka state it's called first PUC and second PUC, and if it is CBSE or ICSE it's called +12 grade. Passing is 50% for general category, and for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe it is 45% in confirmation with the standards stipulated by Government of India. And the MSc for any UG course, passing is 50% for general category, and for SC and ST it's 45%. For PhD, any PG courses, passing is 50% for general category, and SC and ST 45%. The institutional entrance test for PG programs are done. A comprehensive test and interview for PhD programs will be done twice a year, in the month of January and in the month of July or June, end of June or July. And the medical examination is a mandatory one for all the students who are going to enroll for various courses and disciplines. At the beginning of the year, when the students enroll himself for a course, we are going to have the bridge courses offered at the commencement of programs for freshers, and it's an introduction about the education pattern in the Yoga University, and it is basically spoken in English, because we have diversity of students coming from all parts of India, across the length and breadth of India. So some of them might have studied in their mother tongue, not in English. So we will sensitize them with respect to spoken English. Then spoken Sanskrit, which is called Sambhashana Shibir, 2 hours a day for 10 days, by which at the end of the 10th day, the students are capable of speaking in simple Sanskrit 5 to 10 sentences, which is a great movement, which is being done by Samskrit Bharati at the global level, and we have implemented their module here, sir. Then the minimum knowledge of yoga. This duration of the bridge course, also called as orientation course, is for 2 to 3 days. The teaching preparation for new faculty members is also organized by the academic cell. It enhances actually with respect to the students, this bridge course will enhance the learning interest and motivate the students, encourage the pupils' active participation in classroom activities. It is on one-to-one activity. It is on an interactive session. It focuses on learning process, and it shows concern for the performances of individual pupils, which is emphasized here. The programs which we detail, the 11 courses which we are going to offer on behalf of the Yoga University, it is always based on the needs and the feedback of the Board of Studies constituted by each division of our Yoga University, which will recommend the modified courses and the programs, new courses to be introduced to the Academic Council for consideration. The Academic Council meets periodically. At that time, with due recommendations, they go through the Academic Council, and shortfalls and other things will be suggested. It's going to be implemented by us. Then later, with due recommendation from the Academic Council and Finance Committee, Board of Management will approve the proposed courses to be offered by the university. The academic cell will make necessary arrangements to offer courses and the programs from the respective divisions. We have 5 divisions. And the Board of Studies process chart, which has already been shown by the IPS in the morning, so I kindly skip that program, skip that slide and move on to the next. And this major revisions of curriculum and the minor revisions also has been presented by IPS in the morning, so I'm skipping that to go into positive time. So the content development, how the content is developed on behalf of the academic staff. It is based on the societal needs and feedback of alumni. The Board of Studies will recommend the suitable syllabi for each program periodically. The syllabi will be placed before the academic council, experts and industrialists for approval. As far as the industrialists, the physical sciences and the life sciences are concerned, the management courses are concerned, it depends upon that, and we are going to implement the same. The approved syllabi will be sent to the divisions for implementation. Job-oriented and knowledge-based courses are given importance. To give you a quick example, sir, the UGC is planning to implement 1 credit course in all our degree colleges in the country. As the RUSA document says, Rashtriya Uchchara Shiksha Abhiyan document says, there are 63,000 degree colleges in the country, 768 universities, which includes central universities, deemed universities, deemed to be universities, private universities. So in all these universities and 63,000 degree colleges, next year the UGC plans to introduce 1 credit course of yoga. So perhaps it is counted already, it is calculated already. We need around 50,000 yoga instructors who are at the PUC and the degree college level starting from June 2017. So S-VYASA will gear up for this activity as suggested by the RUSA document, which I reviewed when I was the registrar of the Karnataka Sanskrit University 3 years ago. The content delivery is done in this fashion. The framing of the timetable for all programs is done. We have the master time, we have the individual timetable for each division, individual timetable for each faculty. Then we mop up everything and make a master timetable, and the entire timetable is a very long and a rigorous process which has been completed at the beginning of the year. 2 weeks earlier to the start of the program, we would have completed the entire individual timetable, division timetable and the master timetable. So apart from that, we review the academic progress of the students periodically, and we conduct the internal test for students, which I will show it when I come for the evaluation process for internal assessment purposes. Then announcement of shortage of attendance of students once a month, and we are going to announce at the end of once a month. At the end of the month, we will accumulate the number of classes taken, number of classes attended, the total percentage received by the student for that semester, for that month in each subject, and next month, first week it will be announced on the notice board so that the students know where they stand. So at the end of the semester, we accumulate all these things, and finally we announce the entire shortfall or about the entire attendance of each student, and all those students who are eligible, so those who have secured 75% plus attendance will be given, will be allowed to write the exam. For others, based on sick leave, based on some exigencies, all those some emergencies, those things we consider between 60 to 75% and 50 to 60. It is the prerogative of our Honorable Registrar and the Vice Chancellor. It's purely based on the UGC guidelines which is given to us time and again. Then we organize seminars, workshops and training programs for students, and we maintain the dossier of student. The dossier will give all the details of the student from the day he enters the university till his exit, and also all the details with respect to his courses, performance and so on. Collecting the feedback questionnaire at the end of each semester, sir, we collect the feedback questionnaire from the students, the faculty, at the end of every semester, and periodical feedback from stakeholders and S-VYASA alumni, so that these things we can take it into account and domicile them, and whenever we plan to either improve upon our academic curriculum, we take these things also into consideration. The activities of the academic cell have been divided into 2 sections, the faculty section and the student section. In the faculty section, we conduct regular workshops, seminars and training programs for faculty members. Then we review the academic and research progress of faculty members annually, which is called self-performance appraisal. We send the questionnaire to them. It is all basically electronically motivated, and once they fill out those performance appraisal, we compare and contrast, and wherever some exigencies, some demerits and other things are there, it's going to be improved upon by calling the faculty individually and speaking to them. Then we are conducting the meeting of the doctoral committee and the research advisory committee as per the 5th May 2016. The PhD committee, doctoral committee earlier, now is called as research advisory committee of the PhD scholars. Then the D-Lit and the DSc committee. Every year at the time of the convocation, we give D-Lit and DSc honorary degrees to the most distinguished people in the academia and in the educational and other sectors. And this year, we gave it to Dr. K.K. Deepak from All University of Medical Sciences and to Dr. R. Nagaratna. We given the Doctor of Science as honorary degree. Then introduction of credit-based choice system for undergraduate and postgraduate programs and implementation of the same that we are going to explain in the next few slides.
D-Lit to Tatacharya.
And also Dr. M.A. Lakshmi Tatacharya, who is a very distinguished Sanskritist and also he developed the Academy of Sanskrit Numerical for 30 years, and he is the awardee of the President of or Certificate of Honor.
He got D-Lit.
And he got the D-Lit from our university in this year's convocation, which was held on 12th of January. Encouraging faculty to develop innovative teaching methodologies with usage of ICT tools and also for presentation in seminars, state, national and international. So here I give quickly a view graph with respect to the UG program-wise data for 5 years, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The blue shows the BSc Yoga Therapy, where the red one, the BNYS, and the green one, the BSc Yoga Consciousness. In the same way, PG program, you can see kindly that the program has attracted attention from all parts of India, and there is a slow increase in the intake of students compared to yesterday. These things, now the most important is the choice-based credit system. As per the UGC guidelines, the CBCS was introduced by Yoga University during 2015 and 16. 1 credit is 1 hour theory per week and 2 hours practical per week. For the undergraduate program, it is 132 plus 10 skill-oriented plus 8 Gurukula 4 yogas. It's called 8 credits. For the PG program, it's 88 plus 4 skill-oriented plus 28 for Gurukula 4 yogas and 4 yoga credits. So academic flexibility is given here to the students for choosing the electives. These are the details, and we have for all the 4 semesters we have, and for PG the division on the institutional core, the core and the electives is elaborately given, and it is implemented by each division through the coordinators. So academic, now we move on from the undergraduate to the postgraduate, we move on to the PhD program. The rules and regulations of the PhD program has been revised as per the UGC notification dated May 5, 2016. The Gazette of India notification came in the month of July. I think if I am right, it is on 7th July 2016. We conduct a comprehensive test and interview will be for the PhD program twice a year. In the month of January, after the convocation, actually the classes begin very immediately after the convocation day on 12th or 13th. Then we have it in the month of end of June. We have one more program, comprehensive test and interview in which the students get selected, and we start the program in the fall semester. So the coursework consists of 2 semesters. Actually, you may be surprised to find that in our UGC guidelines, it's only 1 semester. But here our Honorable Chancellor has introduced 2 semesters because some of them may come from non-science background. They don't have the experience towards yoga and research methodology, so that they should be acclimatized and sensitized to the activities of our university. They should know all about the 4 yogas which we are going to implement here. They should know about the basic course of yoga. So we have done it for 2 semesters instead of 1 semester. The first semester will consist of research methodology, it's called RM1, and the electives and the practicum 1. The practicum 1 and 2, it's called kriyas, the asanas, and the pranayama. This is for the first semester. It is for 1 semester. Then in the second semester, we have the research methodology 2, it's called RM2. In that we have the research based on the division and topic wise. We have 5 divisions. Based on that, we have 5 research methodologies which would be offered to the student, and some experts would be called from outside to take those classes. Then, apart from that, we have advanced pranayama and yoga techniques would be offered in the second semester. These are the guides in each division. Division of Yoga Spirituality has 5 guides. Division of Yoga Life Sciences has 9. Division of Yoga Physical Science 9. Division of Yoga Humanities 6. Division of Yoga and Management 2. So all those professors, associate professors and assistant professors who have completed the minimum qualification as per the UGC guidelines of 5th May 2016, such as a professor has to publish around 10 publications in peer-reviewed national international journals, associate professors around 4, and assistant professors 4 or 6. And minimum of 1 or 2 years after they completed PhD, they will be allowed to guide the candidates. Year-wise PhD scholars enrollment is as follows, sir. From 2011 we had 7, 2012 28, 2013 9, 29, 14, 24, 15, 12, 16, 12, 17, 8. So you will be surprised to find why there is a small fall in 2015 and 16. The reason being we have implemented the UGC guidelines and we wanted to make it a very rigorous program and not just a casual program. And the most important thing which has been implemented here is the journal club presentation in divisions. Each division will make the candidates belonging to each division will make journal club presentation. It's on every Friday afternoon, in which all the PhD scholars assemble in a seminar hall. One or the other student will choose a topic of his PhD thesis based on the background of the study he has made. He will be making the presentation for 30 minutes, which is going to be seen by other PhD scholars. They are called research scholars, and based on the recommendation, based on the suggestion, it's going to be improvised. So week-wise, we will have the rigorous presentation by students. It's always through PPTs. So in the division of Yoga Spirituality, 3 people presented, Yoga and Life Science 73, Yoga and Physical Science 49, Yoga and Management 19, Division of Yoga and Humanities the highest 82. So we have foreign PhD scholars also from various countries. From USA we have 3, from France, Japan, China, South Korea, Egypt and Taiwan, 1 each. They have enrolled and they are doing their PhD program here in our S-VYASA University. So the PhD awardees year-wise, 2011 it was 3, 12, 6, in 13 it was 3, in 14, 6, 15, in 2015 it was 15, 2016 8, 2017 3. 2016 to 17 there is a small dropout, the reason being, as I told you, unless they publish 3 research articles in high impact journals, national and international, the minimum being from 0.30 to 21, and only after the publication in the in the international and national journals, high impact journal is done, we are going to allow them to make the open defense, not just acceptance. Hence, as I told you, even immediately after the convocation, 3 of them have already presented their open defense, and now Saubhagya Lakshmi will be doing it on Sunday. So we are going to add it there. Another 4 will be awarded in the next 1 week. So the most important here is the Gurukula system of education which we have implemented here. The residential education with students and teachers living in the campus and teachers are available most of the time for personal interaction, which is titled as Guru Grihavasa and Guru Shishya Parampara based on our Upanishadic learning. And the S-VYASA University also has adopted university system of education along with Gurukula system. As we have kindly seen from our SSR, from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. every day, the students are engaged in Gurukula paradigm of education. From 9 to 4, they engage in the university system of education with lunch break from 1 to 2, and again from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, they engage in Gurukula system of education. That way, every student of, and the faculty of S-VYASA here are engaged from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. which is a combination, healthy symbiosis of Gurukula ancient education and modern university system. Value-based education is given emphasis here, and we practice the 4 streams of yoga every day through morning Vedic chanting, Maitri Milan, Karma Yoga, Bhajan Sandhya, Krida Yoga and Happy Assembly. The 4 yogas explained here are Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge and analysis. Please remember whatever Shankar Bhagavad said, Jnana eva tu kaivalya. The ultimate liberation is only through Jnana or knowledge. And most important, here we teach as per the Mundaka Upanishad, Veditavye Pare Aparecha. Para is supreme, knowing about oneself. As Swami Ranganatha Anandji, I am the disciple of Swami Ranganatha Anandji. He always used to say, signs of man in death. So here we teach that Para Vidya or Adhyatma Vidya, to know oneself, that is, being and becoming Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. At the end of the 3 years, or the 5 years, or the 8 years of education, all our students are spiritually highly motivated through this Jnana Yajna which we conduct here. Then the Karma Yoga is the path of action, and through how we manage the efficient stress. Here we take into consideration the Bhagavad Gita, the famous 2nd chapter, 47th verse, Karmanyevadhikaras tema padeshikavachana, and Yoga Karma Kaushala. So as far as the Bhakti Yoga is concerned, it is part of devotion and emotion culture, where we concentrate on the Sarva Bhuta Hite Rata, as told in the Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, where we emphasize on the complete welfare of the entire humanity in general. So finally, Raja Yoga, path of meditation, willpower, as told in the Bhagavad Gita, Samatvam Yoga Uchate, poise in action is yoga, or balance is in yoga, balance in the mind is yoga. And also we take into consideration the famous statement of the Yoga Vasistha, Yoga Prashamanopayaha, Manak Prashamanopayaha, Yoga Mityabhidhiyate. So emphasis is on Manak Prashamana. So that is given here through the 5 koshas, the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya kosha, which is given in the 2nd Anuvaka of the Taittiriya Upanishad. And here the emphasis is on Annamaya kosha for the physical layer, Vashishto, Valishtaha, Dradishtaha, the Taittiriya Upanishad says, the Pranamaya kosha where they enhance their energy layer, Manomaya kosha they establish their supremacy over the mind, and Vijnanamaya they emphasize the rational and the intellectual, they improve upon their intellectual and rational thinking, and finally they enjoy the bliss, that is Anandamaya kosha. And here the mentoring is also done for the student, as far as their academic growth is concerned. Through the mentoring is done for students by individual teachers, and mentoring is also done for the faculty by the higher officials of the university, such as our Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Pro-Chancellor. Faculty development programs, this has already been presented by KSC, so I am kindly going to skip this. And also this has also been presented by the IKSC. This also has been presented. The best practices has been notified by IKSC, but still, some of which are implemented by cells. So I am mentioning that CBCS, skill-oriented courses, exam reforms, ICT facility, Michael Whelan and Bhajan session, Karma Yoga, and all those things. This we have already mentioned, the 5 layers. I move on to the next. Most important. The emphasis is on practical subjects. Emphasis is given to the subjects which are practicals and taught through 8 steps developed by here in this Yoga University, such as introducing a practice by explaining its meaning in English, Sanskrit, Hindi, because we have people from diverse fields and cultures. Explaining the benefits of practice. Explaining the contraindication of practice, because it has to be practiced rigorously under the strict supervision of a guru. Then silent demonstration of yoga, practicing in pairs, individual practice, peer group practice, emphasis on key points. And this mentoring has already been mentioned in the IPSC slide, also library activities, ICT facilities, it has been given already, we are going to implement, we have SMAT and other facilities here, student participation, in all the curricular and co-curricular activities. The emphasis is given for the all-round personality development of each student here. And student participation, you can see they represent and also they participate in all our activities, including all committees. The most important, now we move on to the skill-oriented courses. Each division offers skill-oriented courses. It helps the students in enriching knowledge in chosen fields. The SOC are interdisciplinary in nature, the maximum 5 for UG and 2 for PG programs. The Courses are for life sciences, it is naturopathic massage, hypnosis, natural way of living, yogic counseling, yoga way of total body purification. Then for management, it is managerial communication skills, information technology skills, self-management of excessive tension, decision-making skills and leadership skills. For humanities, it is therapeutic approach of Indian music, percussion training course with Mridangam. Every student will learn generally from 9 to 10 a.m., sometime from 8 to 9. They will be learning Mridanga and violin. We have the masters, apart from Carnatic music vocal. Carnatic music instrumental, flute basic level we are teaching them. Then the Natya Yoga, the Bharatanatyam basic education and training is given so that they become the connoisseurs of arts in the years to come. So then, in the physical sciences, we have the subtle energy assessment through the GDB, gas discharge, then the Nadi Tarangini, programming in research, programming in Java, which are advanced in computer science, qualitative research methods, and Vedic mathematics. Then, in spirituality, it's spiritual counseling, Veda chanting and daily rituals, astrology for health, happiness, and harmony, traditional knowledge and skills for harmonious living called Vastu, Yajna as a healing science. The teaching technique adopted here are whiteboard method called the chalk and talk. Earlier it was called blackboard method. We use the black whiteboard, hence we have changed it as whiteboard method, chalk and talk. Then the PowerPoint presentations, audiovisual screening, yoga demonstrations, smart class, academic deliberations, it is through interactive sessions, student-centered teaching tool, team teaching. Multiple teachers specialized in related fields teach the student, that is senior teachers teach the junior student. Then the case studies. Then peer teacher student, educational practice in which students interact with other students to attain desired goals, a mode of learning for everyone by everyone for enhancement of knowledge. The ultimate goal is enhancement of knowledge, paravidya, as I told you. Then there are remedial classes for slow learners. Yes.
That is aparavidya.
Aparavidya. Periodical classroom tests in subjects are conducted for slow learners. Then it is basically all our courses are structured under student-centric education. Here we give a wide variety of educational programs, curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular, learning experiences, instructional approaches and academic support. Strategies that are intended to address the distinct learning needs, interests, aspirations or cultural backgrounds of individual students who come from all parts of India and other countries. The evaluation and feedback mechanism here is as follows. There is a continuous assessment. It is through assignment. Students every semester will write 2 tests and 2 assignments and also seminar. Seminars is for PhD research scholars. Then the faculty assessment and attendance. Finally, we have the final exam called the summative examination conducted by examination wing. After that, the annual convocation will be held during the 12th January every year, which happens to be the birthday of Swami Vivekananda.
National Youth Day.
National, it was also considered as, celebrated as National Youth Day all over India. It is happening since 1986. Then the opportunities for our students, our students are participating as therapists promoting holistic health. They are researchers in S-VYASA research methodology matches the global standards, helping to reduce stress and promote positive health in corporate sector. For example, our SMET program, as I told you, ONGC people came and participated in our SMET program for the last 1.5 months. Our students working abroad contribute to Forex results. Thank you very much.
Ranjit, I will actually error from in the slide. So the minimum requirement to enroll for the PhD is 55%. That is not 50%. We have the reservation quota, but the thing that they find it difficult, if they come, we definitely we will definitely privilege of
came for admission for PhD and she is doing PhD.
Yeah, we have
Jyoti Magbu by name. She
also
is visually
yes.
impaired.
Yes, yes.
But still she is doing a PhD. She is in her last semester.
There is no provision for the reservation of the OBC class?
Yes.
What class?
yes, according to
Talking
the
about SC and SC. There is no.
yes, SC, ST, sports quota, OBC,
Everything is
we
under
follow
OBC.
this.
General merit is 50%, SC, ST 25. Then OBC, actually SC 15, ST 7.5, and the OBC 27. That comprises of the 50% as stipulated by Supreme Court judgment.
Okay.
Another 50% is for the general.
You are getting the feedback for feedback from the students.
Pinpointed
Yes.
question, pinpointed answer.
Yes.
Teachers
Simultaneously
feedback from
one
the
talking.
When, how you are collecting data? Feedback from the students regarding the feedback of teachers.
So,
How you
sir,
are collecting?
but actually, okay, so IQSC, coordinator will use that.
IQS collects the feedback from students through questionnaires, sir. We'll be showing all the documents by them.
By name or there will be some privacy.
We give them privacy. There is an option to give their name and the course. If they are willing, they can give. Otherwise, they can't use.
In addition to that, we actually developed the feedback form in Google Calendar so that they can directly keep in touch with our IQSC. Without mentioning their name also, they can.
Name should not be there.
Yes.
It's not there.
Just really they can.
Yeah, it is left to them.
In few of the feedbacks, we do have names. There are some students who would
As
like
far as
to.
your curriculum is concerned regarding this naturopathy graduation course, are you adopting the council course or some additional course?
Yeah, so, Kavita Madam,
Naturopathy counselor is
Yes, sir.
your
Direct.
direct counselor there.
Yes.
So there is a council of naturopathy. So naturopathy council has approved a particular course. The subject answer is that you are following in judo or you are giving some additional course to the students.
Just to
As such, as we have been discussing about the skill-oriented courses over there, most of the programs offered under the division of yoga and life sciences, all the subjects is being incorporated already into the curriculum of BNYS. So we are not rendering that skill-oriented program for BNYS course. We adhere to the one national standardized syllabus for naturopathy and yogic sciences.
Because it is mandatory to follow the council norm.
yeah.
But you can additionally you can give something more that can be given.
Naturopathy council full force level. So full force.
Report me.
No, unfortunately, we don't have a fixed body for naturopathy and yoga. What we have done is a common syllabus was generated done at the National Institute of Naturopathy when Dr. Babu Joseph was the director. So there is no regulatory body as such for naturopathy, but we all have adopted the one which was developed from the National Institute of Naturopathy in Pune. So now the same has been adopted by Rajiv Gandhi Health University and in Karnataka and in multiple other universities.
Sir, you
Sir, one question
Good.
regarding promotion of the research.
anything?
4 days per week.
Yeah, 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 days per week.
No, sir, it is like
Yeah,
this. Our thing is,
Yeah.
one credit is 1 hour theory per week. One credit.
1 hour theory, 4 days.
Yes.
No.
15 weeks.
No. One credit
Not
is.
less than, okay, including Saturdays. Then it's right.
No, sir. One credit is 1 hour theory per week. It is lecture. And practically one credit is 2 hours per week. Field training is 2 hours per week. Tutorial is 1 hour per week. This is the
You follow 60 minutes or 18.
Clear?
60.
Yes, sir.
16 weeks.
16 weeks.
Yes, sir. As far as
One minute.
promotion of the research, is there any provision of sabbatical leave for the
Yeah.
Sabbatical.
There is a provision for sabbatical leave. Our provision is 1 year. According to UGC, after 3 years we can give sabbatical leave. But according to our statutes, 1 year of probation plus 3 years of service. So our faculty can be given sabbatical leave. Means put together 4 years. After 4 years.
Okay. Can we go for?
Pleasant evening to one and all the dignitaries present over here. It is my pleasure.
Come this side.
It is my pleasure to share with you all the adopted models in teaching and learning methods been adopted at our esteemed university. Based on the classroom action research, periodically we'll be having a classroom action research. Following that, I am happy to introduce you all the different styles of teaching and learning methods, right from an authority or a lecturing style of a teaching method, and demonstrator or a coaching type of a teaching method, as well as a facilitator or and facilitator style and a delegator style, as well as the hybrid or a blended style of teaching methodology. Here I would like to introduce all the teaching methodologies followed at our institution.
Dr. Bhuvaneshwari from the Department of Yoga has opted for a very descriptive 8-step teaching method for yoga practicals. In this method, a yogic posture is introduced to the students with its name, description of the meaning, demonstration, group practice, and in-depth knowledge about the clinical significance and contraindications of the practice. This is explained to the students by the faculty along with a practical demonstration of the practice. This helps the students to have a broad spectrum insight about each yogic practice. From the Department of Pharmacology has adopted a very proficient method of teaching where she used both audio and visual aids to make pharmacology student-friendly. In this method, the basics of pharmacology was taught through videos which explains the mechanisms of action of the drugs and the changes it causes to the body. Visual memory is a long-lasting memory, and when it is along with the audio and explanation, it makes students to easily understand and remember the subject. Dr. Shreya from the Department of Diagnostic Methods has chosen a very potent teaching method called bedside teaching, in which a detailed case history taking examination of the patient is done by the faculty in front of the students. The same method is repeated for almost all the diseases. This type of teaching provides students a live exposure to the patients and different diseases, which makes it easier for them to face patients in the future. And whatever everything has to be considered because all things we are looking for diagnosis of the condition, like our pulmonary data and history, and history, like how infection started. So everything is now is for diagnosis of condition. So it's here condition and history, what is like happened and how that Dr. Manjunath and Dr. Shreya from the Department of Anatomy has executed human body dissection very beautifully. In this practical session, each of the faculties has opted for the parts of their interest and demonstrated dissection and gave a very detailed explanation about the skull and the brain and the lower limb respectively. This type of teaching method helps students to efficiently visualize and remember the human anatomy. Now, what you saw is the skull. We have three portions, one, and here we have this is part. We have of Obstetrics and Gynecology has introduced a very proficient teaching method called horizontal teaching, where students are introduced to a new disease condition, first with the basic anatomy of the system by Dr. Sonu from the Department of Anatomy, the basic physiology by Dr. Amrita from Department of Physiology, and the detailed pathology, clinical correlations and management by Dr. Kavita. Introducing vertical integration is considered as one of the major reforms to prepare better physicians. It stimulates profound, in-depth understanding of important biomedical principles. This method improves motivation, enhances deep learning, and a better knowledge on clinical applications. Dr. Bhuvneshwari from the Department of Yoga has implemented a scholarly teaching method, philosophic and physiologic concepts of yoga, where teaching of yoga practices is done by combining the Eastern Gurukula systems of teaching with the Western idea of modern medical understanding of the yogasana. This method makes the subject very interesting and gives an overall picture of the asana practices. Dr. Sridhar from the Department of Physiology has opted for a very modern teaching methodology by making use of smart board, which makes teaching easier and also very effective. Smart board has various useful modern features where the audio along with the video of the class can be recorded and used by students for the revision. Likewise, it has many more features where teaching and learning is made very productive and sophisticated. Dr. Manjunath, who leads the Department of Anatomy, along with his co-teachers Dr. Sriroy and Dr. Sonu, has implemented a very descriptive teaching methodology called team teaching, in which a topic is chosen and one faculty explains the osteology, that is the bones involved, and the other explains myology, that is the muscles present in that particular part, and the third faculty explains the clinical and spiritual significance of the selected topic. This gives students a comprehensive view of the subject and a better understanding of human anatomy. Dr. Puneet Raghavendra, who heads the Department of Manipulative Therapies, has adopted a unique teaching method where the theory and the practicals were merged in a single session. In this methodology, he gave a brief introduction to the topic, explained each massage movements theoretically. Simultaneously, he demonstrated the movements on a subject. Integration of theory and practical demonstration helps students to learn faster and understand and remember better.
The students they will do the strategies of massage
Dr. Venugopal, who heads the Department of Clinical Naturopathy, has opted for a very powerful teaching cum learning method, where a case from Arogya Pharma is selected by the faculty and the student from final year BMYS is given time to take a detailed history of the patient and study the case in detail. On a prefixed date, the case was presented before second, third and final year BMYS students along with the faculties from different departments. After the case presentation, there was a discussion on the treatment modalities in which all the students were given an opportunity to share their views, which was chaired by the faculties of different departments. This helps the students to improve their knowledge about each disease. Dr. Apar, who is heading the Department of Nutrition and Dietetics, has come up with a very innovative method which is student-centered, where the students are divided into two groups and they were asked to debate on the topic which was given in advance. A week of time was given to the students to get maximum relevant points in support of their argument by using all the resources like books, research articles and internet. Each group was given an opportunity to defend their points. Conclusion remarks were given by the faculty as well as the judges. As there is active participation of the students, learning will be very effective. Congregation, we have with us from the Nutrition Department of the Library and Dr. Shafi, and request all of you to welcome them with a big round. This week, we are would be given first 3 minutes, and the leaders would be given the most important points in the topic on scaling according to their right. Dr. Shagri from the Department of Psychology and Psychiatry has executed a creative student-centric methodology where teaching and learning has been given equal importance in the same session. In this method, the detailed information about schizophrenia was explained to the students with the help of PowerPoint presentation, followed by which students were asked to volunteer for the role play of paranoid schizophrenia. At the end of the play, conclusive remarks were given by the faculty. This methodology is very useful in understanding the actual condition of the psychiatric patient by active participation of students in the role play. From the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, a seminar was conducted in which a final year student, Ms. Monica, was given an opportunity to present neuroendocrinology of female reproductive system for the students of second year in the presence of faculties of the respective department. An appropriate platform was given for exchange of knowledge between students via a discussion session. Conducting these seminars will enhance learning ability of students and also encourages them to gain confidence and improve their academic performance. Dr. Amrita, leading the Department of Forensic Medicine, has implemented a very innovative by involving students into playing a skit on a crime scene investigation under the guidance of the faculty. A fake crime scene was created in the classroom and the students in the role of forensic experts demonstrated a detailed investigation of the scene. This creative idea helps students to understand the subject better and improves the quality of learning and memory. The Department of Physiology has implemented a very revolutionary student-centered technique where students were given the topic and enough time to prepare either working models or charts that are self-explanatory using their creativity and knowledge. On a prefixed date, they were given an opportunity to exhibit their efforts in the form of a science exhibition which was open for all the students. This improves the students' confidence levels, creativity, and in-depth perception.
कालः कलयति कालः कलयति कालः कवलयति. Over to our nodal officer, please.
Shall we make a visit to the academic cell to verify the document? There are two options. Or else we have cultural evening now. Cultural evening.
They are waiting for.
Students are waiting for you.
Sanskritic.